Hello! So here is a hunting video at the Liquor Barn in Lexington, Kentucky. It's another big one.
This one's mine. Tonight we feast.
So that Bush Creek Railroad Rye, they put that on a train and send it from Chicago to Wyoming. Heaven's Door, that's Bob Dylan. Bob Dylan involved in that. I hear it's not too bad. And Sycamore Rye, that's some pretty damn good rye. Hemingway Rye, another great one. And Prideful Goat. This is obviously the rye selection. This is a really big liquor store. They have a very extensive selection. If you ever run across a liquor barn, especially in Kentucky, hit it up because you'll pretty much find everything you want. Not necessarily allocated, but everything else. So Penelope, not a huge fan of Penelope. It's not bad. It's pretty good, but I'm not a massive fan. And Buzzard's Roost, been hearing more about that. Pretty keen to try that cigar rye. You can go visit them in Louisville. Pretty cool place to hang out and try a bunch of their stuff. But as you can see, they've got a lot of different things. There's the standard Joseph Magnus. It's not the cigar batch that I did a video about, but it is still a pretty good bourbon. Some Calumet, it's the younger stuff, 8 year, and Pursuit United, those guys have a really good podcast. If you haven't heard them, they're one of the best podcasts around. I listen to it a lot. Horse Soldier, the metal on that is actually made from, well, actually I just looked it up and I had heard it was made from parts of the World Trade Center, but cannot confirm or deny, so facts optional. 2XO, Dennis Dedman, isn't it? Dixon Dedman, who actually was involved in Kentucky Owl and sold that out and started the 2XO. There's some more barrels, it's the more reasonably priced stuff, and Castle and Key, not a fan. Sazerac Rye hidden back there and some Bardstowns. They're once again the more reasonable stuff, the Origin series. Pinhook, so every year they bring one out, so there's 5, 6, 7, 8, every year there's another year older and they bring that out and there's a horse on it. Nectars, Copper and Kings and RD1s, once again, that Ambarana there, that green one of the best Ambaranas. Good old Heaven Hill, bottled and bond. They used to be hard to find and sort of everywhere now. Elijah Craig and some Bullet. Picked up a Bullet 12-year rye, and apparently it's really good, and it's everywhere. I think you'll see it here a little bit too. Basil Hayden, from Jim B. Basil Hayden is actually Old Granddad, the actual person. Old Granddad is Basil Hayden when he's an old granddad. How about that? Wow. Good reserves with little things on their tops and all that's all about. A whole bunch of Maker's Mark. Good stuff. No dunkers. Yeah, good old Wild Turkey 101. Wild Turkey 101 rye. Rare breed. Fantastic. Don't sleep on that stuff. So Rattle and Snap, that's like a game of chance. They're from Log Still Distillery, which is a Kentucky distillery, so I guess Tennessee means it's maybe sourced. Yeah, it's that Oak and Eden again. Nelson Brothers coming back big time. Good old Smoke Wagon down there, it's always good. Saw the Uncle Nearest up there before. Someone commented that was actually really good, so we'll have to give that a go. I haven't really tried any of that Uncle Nearest. A whole bunch of different Smoke Wagons. Dexter, if that's like the murderer. That Malaman Green, that seems to be a pot-stilled whiskey out of Texas, so may be good, but might also not be. Doc Swinson, that's really good. A lot of that stuff is quite good. And High West, not a huge High West fan, but some of it's alright. They have a Burr Rye that I really want to get, mostly because of the label. It's got like a jack-o'-lantern thing, rabbit deer. Looks really cool. American Honey, I think Wild Turkey, Long Branch. Yeah, probably fine, but I'm not into that right now. Maker's Mark, a whole bunch of Maker's Mark again. I think we've been past here. And Flatboat. Flatboat is like the house brand of liquor barns, sort of like the, what would you call it at Total Wine? The Chestnut Farms, but they're pretty open. That comes from 1792, so keep that in mind, that there's a whole bunch of actual 1792 stuff that's probably similar at about reasonable prices. And Green River, that's always good. The Green River Rye is especially good for 33 bucks. It's really nice, solid rye there. Town and Branch, a square bottle. You know, I like square bottles. And Jefferson's. Some of the Jefferson's Ocean, the humidity one, the aged in humidity, is quite good. The Bespoken website seems interesting. Maybe a little bit of fluff, really. You know, seasoned with oak staves. Well, isn't everything? I don't know. I got a feeling that there's going to be a few brands that may not be around in a few years once the bourbon madness subsides a bit. That Rittenhouse Rye, that's a Heaven Hill product. That's just cheap. And there's that Mr. and Mrs. again with the basketball player talked about in the last video. That Sweetness Cove, that is that old, what's his name? Football player. Peyton Manning, that's it. Yeah, something about there's a Sweetness Cove golf course, and they were making bottles to, you know, drink during special golf events, and that's carried on. The Old Pepper Distillery, you know, in Pure Kentucky, there's some really old names in bourbon that have around there. Willet Green Top 4-year, yuck. And you know, a lot of this stuff, Johnny Dram, just old names in bourbon, maybe relocated to bottom shelf these days. You know, some names they elevate, and some names they chuck down here. And then you got these brands like Flatboat that these large stores get involved with, like Barton normally. Hard Truth, sweet mash rye stuff, a sweet mash bourbon's delicious. So yeah, if you ever see one of those, especially the Mellencamp. Same with Old Soul. Old Soul can have some really good picks. And there's Chattanooga's. There's the Founders 12. I was so disappointed in the Founders 11 that I'm wary of the 12. So it's one that I think I basically gave away. It was just so bad. But yeah, some Blackened. That's to do with old Metallica, and some Clyde Mays. Dark Arts. Been hearing a lot about Dark Arts recently. They're a blender, and he's becoming pretty popular, and some of his stuff is really good. Now this is in the cabinet. Cabinet of expensiveness, I guess, or Do Not Steal Me. There's some Foursquare rum down there. Not a big rum guy, but K. Luke, I think they're up to batch 8 now. Heard a lot of good things about some of all the batches really, and they've even got a toasted one, which is a green label. Keep an eye out for that. The Lock, Stock and Barrel 20-year, that's apparently the oldest rye that you can get on the market, they were saying. From Alberta distilleries, but I don't know. They say US made, so I don't know. But $400, it's a hard bet. That Amarut, Bardstown, that is pretty good. Bardstown makes some really good stuff. You know, they're relatively expensive, but normally worth it. That Augusta 8, I just picked up an Augusta 17. Not cheap. Hope it's good. Review coming soon. And there's some top-end Mr. and Mrs. You can $260 and back to the Foursquare. And a bit of scotch or a single malt there. And what do you got up top? Little gift baskets, eh? There's that Blackberry Crown Warrow. Super sweet. Do not try and drink it by itself, but mix it with some like 7-Up. Nice. Good old Buffalo Trace in a gift basket. A lot of places do these gift baskets, just a way to, you know, get some more money. There's that Knob Creek 10 year rye. You know, pretty interested in trying that. And then the Knob Creek Burr Rye, which, like I say, there's a half bourbon, half rye. And some more sweet mash hard truth. Videotaping is in progress, you're sure. There's the cock. Chicken cock. $530. Yowza. That's an expensive cock. Some whistle pig. Yeah, some whistle pig is good, but some is pretty average. And 2XO. Especially that Kentucky gem. But once again, $200. That's a single barrel. I've heard amazing things about it. I heard a Calumet 16. That was one of the first bottles I think I ever bought. Thought I was fancy. Legend 78, $1,500. And that's a blend of 5-year and 50-year whiskies to commemorate the 1978 NCAA, basketball team, Kentucky Wildcats basketball team. So I don't know, 5 and 50 year. I haven't really been able to find out exactly how much 5, how much 50, but only 1978 bottles made. But $1,500. No, thank you. Kentucky Ale. That was some good stuff, but getting a bit expensive now and not as good as it used to be, from what I hear. So up here, past those Blanton's cigars. That was pretty interesting. I should have got one of those. It was a Booker's and a Little Book. I'm not sure if we come back to it, but Little Book Chapter 8. So here we are on the top shelf here. A bit of a display of the Peerless Rye and some of the Nashville barrel picks from Liquor Barn, which are Nashville barrel could be really, really good. So that stuff was pretty tempting. And the RD1, that's new bottle, I think. They've sort of changed their shape up quite a lot. That Whistle Pick 6 year, I have a pick of that, and it is really good, but I think the non-pick stuff is not as good. Some more barrel RD1 Liquor Barn pick. 120, 121, $80, That's the way of the world these days, right? It's not inflation. Things just seem to be getting more and more expensive. What we thought was expensive is now just normal, unfortunately. Nulu. I've never really got into the Nulu. So it's $100 to give it a go. And then Old Soul Pursuit United. Ezra Brooks. Learn to speak. And some Knob Creek on sale, $54. At Rye, RY3, there was a cigar batch, one of those, which I'd be looking for. And the Yellowstone, some of them are good, some of them bad. I think you're looking for the high proof ones of those. Some more Nashville barrels. Not really looking up here. Some Pinhooks and some Buzzard's Roost. Trying to get the prices right. You either get the prices or you don't get the prices, or you go too fast or you go too slow. But yep, OKI. Once again, I've seen that around recently. And Driftless Glen, that got really popular there middle of last year. So heard some really good things about it. So yeah, that's mostly my hunting here at Liquor Barn in Kentucky, Lexington, Kentucky. So really big store. Liquor Barn's always good. They normally have a really good bar in them. So you can buy some pours of some really good stuff. So catch you right next time. Bye.